All right, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to Inside Kotoko. Here on YouTube and at the Obed Network. Awa Mohammed once again, awa Makwaba, Bibiabo Cordia. Okay, awa and I bedin komo and Rasan Tekoroko against Young Apostles. 2-1 was the scoreline. Ahead of the game, not yet catch up for say match in the bad team, but people had their own issues. They felt Young Apostles of last season here. Young Apostles of this season. My near catch said the Kotoko is going to really come up against a tougher opponent. Obama Kotoko team for free. Like I said, don't forget to subscribe to the channel.
Well, sir.
And run our stadium.
Yeah.
Were you surprised with the scoreline?
No, man, I'm not surprised because Niabema was surprised with the scoreline. It's before the game the Beshasi. What Jimbe was say Kotoko be afa Young Apostle fun with ease.
Yeah.
But game no chassis na air course no and no know how things went on in the game and majorly say Young Apostles really matched Kumasi and Tokoro. Now I said Young Apostles say last season and almost season on Mobaga.
Yeah.
And you never kaya bossy.
Yeah.
They gave Kotoko a good run for their money. Okay, so na Lomote or that team no more.
Daniel Lomote.
Kunto Junior mo. Eka that team now.
Kunto now with baby any Gold Stars.
So they really matched up Kotoko. And last season, second leg, no say a draw. So what it means is both league games say boss who home and away in Kotoko
International Young Apostles.
Yes.
That was last season.
Ningi Kotoko International. So it shows how the Young Apostles came with a plan and they set up a very good plan. And now goalkeeper Frank Boateng so emani presence issue or control back line very well. In as much as Obeka say Kotoko attack no sheda sharp. And for me I had my issues. Parent Kwame Poku and Morifin Donzo, I had my issues with Coach Karim Zito because I first said omu profile near similar. You go bo mumi no who carries on who. Why na be bo obi. You mu ino muntimi njina bono so. Muntimi twetwe. Omu say nimrika. These are all target men. So rather kabo mumu bako na pe midfielder onu so timi gina boss obeka ho said be onu betimi apeke second balls and o timi help and obeboa in creating opportunities a better scoring chances Kotoko team no betimi utilize it. But all in all I think it was a good game anyway. It was really a good game between Kotoko and Young Apostles.
Well, discussion point senior started Krana was started. The Kotoko starts in 11. I mean, Coach Karim to make key changes compared to a Diana game, no? Because a Diana's though was a Kamara and by.
Yeah.
So back four, no. Ansu out, Samba call back to defense. Then or Joe from suspension, Bekan Dabone, Baba. I mean, Yaya getting opportunity to start. They made 4-3 of Samba, Adabo, Tinedu against a Diana. No? This time around was a Sane and a Samba. Adabo, Joe, Baba.
There's a single pivot. No?
Yes, one player to hold them and two creative players. And Peter maintained Saka out because of injury for Kwame Poku. Was this lineup a good one?
Well, maybe if I had my way, Kamena Mie Kucha, Kamema one of Kwame Poku and Donzo in Chassis.
You made mention of that earlier.
Yeah. Kamema Bakwasha, even if maybe you want to give Amo the chance or probably Inusa. So because I felt so even Inusa time our back second half is also or impacting within the game or creating a lot of agency the runnings, the movements, and he was very good, very about tricky deals so to make some dribbles. Kameme a coach Mema or Mumuba Kwatana bench because per the squad now Obekano okay no. A bear to say 4-4-3-3.
Yeah.
But your way it tends to be 4-4-2.
Okay.
Because those two up front, Donzo and of course Oka Kwame Poku. Because yes, Peter Miduakwa will add a lot of options to you in our attack, but about 1-10-10-1. But I think the problem that came on board was defense was good, midfield was good, but the problem was the attack. And about decision making. Peter Miduakwa, I know to be making surgeon runs, but young players, no. So Obed, now to be besides coaches in a Juma Pay no more coach young players. We should have improvement be out. Someone like Peter Miduakwa, for God's sake, we're in the third season of Kotoko.
Yeah.
At least we're supposed to see some sharpness in terms of the decision making. ban so movie forward ultimate train and be a key decision about obetimi as obetumu say yes player we will answer how to take on the balls, how to make sure say Obed drive a ball and Obed shoot just to score. I said send your almost in a raw na
Bibian account.
So you get to ask yourself, say, a Juma Bain and coaches in a year to improve the players. You how some players were improved in Ghana Premier League setup.
Okay.
Honorable Aziz Ansah started as a midfielder, but Midindop completely changed him into a right back, and Obeye one of the best right backs the Premier League in Ghana has ever seen. Luis Ajimai at a point, you saw a left back. But Nasana Midindop, who say you'll be able to add a lot of attack, and completely Luis Ajimai changed. So Obi Okra. So Pitami do acquire attacker at least obetimi make surgeon obetimi making moves in terms of the pace. But so be decision making yen for being can game said be also how to take on players in terms of apart from that say on score goals. My typical example enye Vinicius Junior. Vinicius by Satama Ancelotti war. You saw Sena asem kwada adwene kakra but Ancelotti ejuma you saw say Vinicius ni decision making dey improve afi ni ball no na enkoye say monko na go the go side as account the same also one of the things I expect say Peter Mido akwamo edi omu game ne be count but ya na say unhu improvement in terms of coaching e ba na say my player no ase ni potential na akoye raw
ase ojina faako
unse dey unhu improvement bia. And you're one of the things I say coaches in the channel.
It's mission so. But what about Joe? And scoring a wonderful goal and winning the man of the match. What can Donzo name Kwame Poku? What about Joe? The inclusion of Joe?
For Joe, I think he has been the revelation of this Kotoko team this season. We buy like now amount for the President Cup, a few games a boy, Galkato for amount for Shadden Hujewi. But you saw say he started picking up in that game against Bekum Chelsea.
Call back,
yes, that game. Okay, that pass now the mark a better one. Then of course he entered into that game against Kwara. Home and away, he played very well.
Scoring.
I feel the league up Twaso. Even that game against WAC he played.
Yeah.
And of course home and away, Answa Obaya against Karela scoring 2 wonderful goals, and he's been brilliant for me. I think so no Kotoko signing of the season. Even though season and you do halfway through but penny we be Jewu achere no wachere so no Kotoko signing of the season.
Players na Kotoko.
Yeah.
On na so far.
Yes.
But if you are zooming into it looks like Kotoko players no more toy and a binyam find your feet.
Yeah. Who said honestly as a place ni bi wo ha omo ba virtually na enche bia be she league nase. So I remember meeting Coach Karim Zito no catch him say in the preseason onye wie.
Okay.
And a games no baso. What he say. So and no matter the bia bi no hu say players bi o ha yenya botre mom.
Okay. A bit some answer.
And I met Kotoko management member back no catch him say Donzo yenya botre.
Yeah, see Donzo usunyina na I don't know if we had that discussion.
Yes.
I say Amos had a meeting with Donzo and he still doesn't know why on to perform the way I would name so bet me perform.
I meant Kotoko management member back no catch him say Donzo yenya botre kakra. What he say. So pe ne wadi kan hunu na adwene say obehia time but pe Asante Kotoko team I no need more demanding there. Enya afi na ebenya time ama o.
Yeah.
That's the main problem. So we a player over you need to prepare yourself mentally, psychologically. And you need to prepare say over be performer. Yeah, na ye expect say we a foreign player na over. As I say we exceptional. As I say we bro ye dey ba.
Yeah, wa so.
Because yeah na more foreign players in the yen fa ye sika na etuamu. Etuamu kan in Dallas. The Kobani say player bi sorry o e bia player bi se bi onu hu ni say bia o perform better than Donzo. Na bia on kotin say tua Donzo ka Dallas no etua ni sisa. E my problem.
In Samba, yeah.
You wanna dreams now we play kwa say me bomo dem chen. Nti esi den na e bia onu disca chen.
Chen me, yeah.
Nti yana e de toto de bia problem say dey e back camp no. So media me expect say the player bar as so exceptional
from foreign land.
From foreign land, yeah, as I said, ni pakono uhunu out to say yes. Mfege, the second season, ya sheda uhunu, but the first season he was brilliant on him Bella. You Sergi Eric Zezemo, at least per almost standard they came and played. You saw said they were good. Fabio Gama mo, at least Ella Doji Moaba.
Yeah.
She has for four guys now mobile. Oka Linda and Tangi, and of course Oka Radio Vuka, and at least the Glido Tanga. At least they were quite good, Kaka. But Yamian crazy said those were banner performance or better than the amount for because they be on the seswa.
And they are Makasi, you are still.
Yes, you'll be Donzo pen game model and structure and send you see Bono. You only be brave, so you are. I'll be better than on one side, Jiska cry and soon chain near Donzo agent. So for even more supporters in the Ombakacham, so money.
But now the player is already in. Our watching from a distance. What should we do to get the best out of him? And there is no best to get out of him. Yeah,
you need to work on him. And especially if he would take a chance, say even over limiting it in the game time.
Okay.
Now they need to introduce him kakra.
So you need to start
pressure naba. And already Kwame Poku so injury fin I better more. So why now didn't when he had Kwako? Meanwhile, what's a club? Open so league go back to Africa. So the pressure So if you can get a better one or no be mau or be guarantee goals. Not those who are saying now integrating in the team no be better because for now the pressure has already come and you can't depend on him based on performance or than on Shenkrai on inspire confidence. That's the main problem. So if you can go and get at least one or two players now one lessen the burden, one lessen the pressure I think they will be quite better.
Kwame Poku and Ra. How did you see those two chances?
Yeah, we're losing the sharpness, Kakra. We're losing the sharpness. The first one who decided to say Okochin goalkeeper. I was wondering, Kwame Poku, just play the ball because keeper no Frank Boateng will be
abandoning some crap.
What more options? Even say Chekra, Chibebia, ni defender no and free homba.
Okay.
No, sir, Chibebia ni defender.
I mean, he really did not scan the pitch.
Yeah. What? And now we game clearly you can see say Kwame Poku were losing the sharpness clearly because Kwame Poku some previous months ago this goal idea is supposed to find itself at the back of the net and even the second one so I also my Kwame Poku foul young apostle defender I didn't say fouler referee edema infringement so I think say one of the things Obeka say Kwame Poku the sharpness but I think say coach in the work on him. But I don't know. Because just this morning I was privy to an information said Kwame Poku deal being so free one of the countries ever. Sana info no chiro.
So
Kwame Poku feels say ya mananko and ayama Albertako. So supporters in the who say Ibia as a on sheda and ready so didn't who be game. Sana ebinu hunu.
Okay.
But you can't just draw conclusion just like that. Time because even say beton or transfer window or January transfer window now virtually 1 month and some days from now and some BSL transfer window. So the player has no option than to play creditably for the club. And Sana ebinu omoka. But nyamieni no kwenu enwa hooting a team any booing for me.
So what about that? But Ronaldo mukre huru mawa.
Yeah,
Ronaldo yetimi huru no Santiago Bernabeu. Messi ye huru no Argentina. Asamoah Gyan ye huru no Ghana. So why is it that Kwame Poku huru na
papa?
People seems to have. There's some money there by.
You encourage him.
There been some money here.
Yeah, like encourage him or your player.
That's in some money here.
Okay, me bow.
But huru ni
huru like huru na mu huru no.
Oman to omonsa. Omo man who say boy no mani anje ho. Ana enye ne sa.
At the end of the beba.
Na man ani abre. But
for me, I think say Kwame Poku just last season, at the point I better more prayer.
Yeah.
Banging in the goals against or Shebe Diama or Shebe Blackstars.
I think I'll find because on the share go.
Nina.
Yeah.
So say akobani say bia okay we call injury long term injury aba. I think that since around June July ma we call injury on my back.
The starting league na. Ono kwa ni injury no peke no wo before what I think South Africa game.
Toyota Cup. Yeah,
before Toyota Cup no injury. And ohonom de ko kan na wambo bi unse say match go free mu.
Yeah, and South Africa game so ba so June. Somewhere 26 June.
Just ahyehyehye no wa me ba kwa say be catch him say Kwame will need a long break and the ball gaka top 4 near there. A sanko can ho breakum no. Yeah.
So I think
you look at it from a play free injury but you should be more relaxed.
Yes. Munya butremano because we're losing the sharpness. Injury you said already can a long term injury.
Yeah.
But take it time. Now coach is now working on the fitness, the sharpness, the anticipation, agility. And all those nema I back kick and one man game na improve. So for me, nyame anim no kwai eno abuwe no de. For me, many anje ho.
Okay.
Many anje ho. I think say Kotoko supporters should learn better. Offering monsheni nkura, mum say mam, but mamum buno. What you say? For me, that is how I feel it.
But I'm going to say a see in other places. But I don't want to say
see, but me discouraging
no player should be booed.
Me discouraging na.
Okay.
Say opponent na ubu no na diametia say because ubu opponent.
Okay.
But wow player. For me, I think it rather needs encouragement.
Okay.
Say Obed.
Okay. But moving ahead, yesterday one major incident had to do with the penalties.
And yet three key incidents.
So one was Richmond Opoku.
Yes.
Dembele. Nedieno.
On
it was
Samba.
Samba, right?
On Samba.
Okay, on the left side of Kotoko's penalty area.
Yeah.
Then I think one was on Patrick Essiedu.
Yes, that was only goalkeeper Frank
Boateng.
Yes.
After a corner, Boateng pushy ball.
Yeah.
Obeste Patrick Essiedu nature or the Essiedu told from a referee rather give a foul for Frank Boateng. And the last one is Joseph Ablo incident. You know. These three incidents, now with the benefit of replay, let's pick them one by one. Richmond Opoku,
For me, Richmond, the referee on the day was supposed to show him a yellow card.
Yes. Yeah, near stadium.
He tried insinuating.
Okay.
And clearly, and the benefit of the doubt because and yes, Samba went in for the tackle.
Okay, so Samba went in for the tackle. And the player added something to it. Okay.
So the player insinuated. Fast forward, let's look at the Patrick Essiedu one.
Okay,
for that one, it was a penalty.
Okay.
It was a penalty because clearly there was a contact. Frank Boateng 9, Echo car Patrick Essiedu.
Okay. Frank Boateng,
goalkeeper for younger person. Former King Fraser goalkeeper. Yes.
Or Stopo Patrick.
Yes. A honor it was supposed to be a penalty
for Kotoko. Okay. Now
third
the penalty itself, which was awarded
to penalty itself, for me, I don't see it as a penalty.
They are blood,
because clearly you saw say pinchim air koso.
Two players.
But from the way I saw it, yes, some of the players block a view.
Oh, media stand.
Yes, media stand. But having the benefit of watching the playback, I saw say Ablo was rather pushing himself onto the turf or the ground.
Okay.
I be more who say a clear penalty, but I never saw it as a penalty. Yes, I never saw it as a penalty.
Now, wouldn't you also look at 11 Wonders, young apostles defender not being that mature? No, he said a penalty box. Referee di kabema warning. O say say wow, o so ni
penalty. So
one or the other, if you watch the video, Ablo invited the contact.
Yes.
That's also Abranti.
That's it. But leading to the incident, you saw say Ablo was falling.
Okay.
Or no na or to say Okotofom.
Okay.
And he used his mind. There is at least it's missing. Players use their minds to create some incident and no force the referee in question to call the decision in their favor.
Yeah.
And Obinzo Obeka Sebia Ablo was that brilliant at that point in time. Utimiya that penalty, no.
But I want to say the real penalty for Kotoko
should have been
a convincing Patrick
Essiedu.
And I say Ghanaian referees sometimes when they make a mistake and they go back to the dressing room. Science and see first half.
Yeah.
So probably you go back Then he start to look for a way to balance things.
And Ghanaian referees across the world, Obi will say, okay, I know CCU. Say incident to be bad, he will find his way to compensate you.
Yeah. And as a matter of Clattenburg, even on a podcast.
Yes.
Because a Chelsea United game, you know. Now, what check it back on the way there or consider Kaka. So, you say you been a referee.
Oh, and you send a medical, and you Ghana across the world, referees need to be brave. You to me say be a hano one for decision na mounty. Say decision be bana e ya favor or kakrebia. He considers the decision. No, the decision na in your favor. Until you know one of the things are because but the young apostle team is a good team.
Okay.
And they did really impressed me. I think say Kotoko games are more bout me say more papa few way baba yara. Me no na any Heart of Lions game.
Lions team no.
Yes. Those two teams have really gave Asante Kotoko a good run for their money.
Yeah.
Lawrence
Osei, Donzo, Benjamin Enim, Ruben Hennessy, when you Ebenezer Aban,
Eche
Doglu, Samuel Kwanzaa, Ishmael, Medford 3.
Yeah, Freeman leading the attack.
Ateji, and
Paul Ateji. Yeah.
They have a solid team.
Yeah.
Lions have
they
a solid.
They really gave Kotoko a good run for their money. So make 2 games are few out to Kotoko about one more to say more games by over Bayara. No game no Young Apostles and Pandu Out of Lions.
Well, after the game, Coach Karim Zito called press conference, and now he raised another big issue. The question on Samba, up, where his answer was Samba is going, and if he can do anything as a coach to keep Samba and Kobeye, but clearly Samba is on his way out. I said, what confirm Samba or then I say he's talking to Samba to see Samba bet me naturalize it about Ghanaian. Then we see what follows. Say what I'm deducing from Zito Nkomanako, it's okay. Yen trying and can't Samba so on your Ghana. Yeah, say bet me a project Samba for the World Cup. Then it be an only Samba because any mate Nakakra. I had here. Based on your kind, Samba naturalizing is a big conversation. Is he somebody on naturalizing and the chances of playing for the Blackstars was through? And I say just one of those things. Well, analyzing Samba.
Well, Samba is a good player, great one. Maybe at least Oka, the best defender in the Ghana Premier League. Among for making quiz for the likes of Alex Boachemo, Razak Simpson, Samuel Oseko for Ebenezer Ruben Kevin Osei, and the likes. But for me, Samba is the best defender in the Ghana Premier League. But to naturalize him, especially on your Ghana near Abia Wako
according to the manager, so our ties with Volta region. That's what he's trying to say.
Okay.
So a boy and our ties with Volta region, which they can draw the connection.
Who is mother
and father? I heard him saying that.
He's a good player, but the question is
he someone Ghana needs?
Not to as such. Because you have a lot of quality in terms of the center backs in Ghana. Because you know Kojo Opon Pipra is one of the great center backs we have in Europe right now, especially within the French Liga. Sali Sumowo, yes, Obeka says Samba, but they've been up there playing UEFA Champions League, World Cup, and up Premier League and the likes, and they've been up there. Alexander on. And even Yorefi Abdul Mumin week out.
And started training.
Yes, I training. And all these guys are around. Jonas Ajetimu, Oka, the likes of Jerome Pukumo. Say Samba be switching nationality no aba Ghana na obenya opportunity a break it through the Ghana team mo there. Honestly, a be yedin. Just say e bia se team no as a Kotoko whole no ebenya slots.
Maybe a Kotoko slot.
Slot say bia Kotoko Kotoko is assured of getting a player to the World Cup. Na no team basa anen. Major say no so eno dey betimi possible.
Okay. But the chances based on position.
Based on say no switching na obe boy that team no dia. E bia na acquired. But he's a good player.
Between Onone Lord Amwa, one or chance of making the Blackstars. Lord on the right back, Samba on the center left.
Lord position no e wo nipa mienu. Baako ya lead Sedu, baako ya Tarek Lamti. Baako so ya another midfielder on the team ball e Kalebirinchi.
Yeah.
So my Lord e honom no.
But people are not convinced with Ali Dusedu.
Yeah. Okay, Ali Dusedu a long-term injury, almost 6 to 9 months on board.
Yeah.
After no Ababaka, the last international break, October no, and at this one also you hold a bit take time, especially player when you're ACL na wakwa check sidelines, you know, ni pitch, you know, a bit take time, kakran you the best out of him. Lord honor me the seka Albert Amwa and a bit because he was banging in the goals and among four were calling, and especially not Briagini almost even the recent welcome international friendlies now Albert was bound to be in that squad.
If not for the transfer.
Almost said I didn't say. I remember saying this on one platform, say Albert must consider the decision when going out of Kotoko. Especially when you have a career at Blackstars anymore. Because the moment you leave the shores of Ghana and to any of these African countries,
you are done.
Will link to Blackstars. You
are done.
Because within the continent, consistently
sure.
This will be a El Ali and no before say be consider no it be taking much time. Richmond Lamte was playing creditably with Kotoko. Yeah. After leaving to Rwanda, only Kotoko, only Blackstar off. Jonathan Sowa, Mediama, even to the level of AFCON 2023.
Yeah.
He's
also playing for a good team.
He's now playing for Simba, but even Bernard Morrison. Bernard Morrison was with Simba, with Yanga, with Orlando Pirates, was playing very, very well. But I didn't say considered on the national team of Blackstars. So I thought say Kwame Poku moving to Libya. No.
Albert moving to Libya.
Albert moving to Libya. No. Or you're off. Shamidiama guys are your free or more Blackstars. Nuruddin. And of course,
Scotland.
Yes, and even this guy I'll call Egypt.
Abdul Fattah. Left back.
Abdul Fattah. He was also part of the squad. After making move to Algeria, to Egypt, as they say Algeria, also the Blackstar career banner. So yeah, now make him move, and especially Albert on 23. I thought saying Kaunya Butreka Kra, a biaka, one European move made me up. It got 23 there, it can be possible. It be especially a profile when you're Blackstars call up. And I mean, you say Prince also media my boy when you're Blackstars call up. Yeah, Kokatra teams are abba Nehua. And you BBNT when you're Blackstars. So and one of the things are raising the portfolio, you know, and also raising the profile. No? But Lord chance no dear say Obed say enye say bia ye be maslot the dia a bedding for me a bedding am Lord.
Well, our Mohammed any attending Kano enra matches a course so any in summer Coach Karim Zito at the Barbon Tino any abonning in don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Bye bye.